have more popping on in a few minutes. This is the Membership and Marketing Committee. And just keep a good thought for Amy. She's having some trouble with her dad. Amy is the co-chair who works with Joe. She won't be on this morning. So welcome. I think we're going to try to do self-introductions. So maybe I should call the name, because last time we tried to do this, we all had a different screen in front of us.
Right.
So, well, Chantel's not on yet, but she usually is. So we'll skip by Chantel. Gary, you want to introduce yourself?
Gary DeVici, CPI Planning, and I think a number of you know me. That's it.
Thank you. Chaz.
Hello, everybody. Chaz Karaman at Greyhawk. I've been on and off various committees for quite a while now, so I think I know most of you, and if not, I know you by name. So good seeing y'all.
Good. Joe Silva. Joe.
Joe Silva, Kukua Technologies, VP of Sales, full service IT firm. If you need technology, we're here like a utility. We do whatever you need. Pleasure to be on this committee. It's really the best. Was former chair at one point, and great leadership now with Joe and Amy. So excited about the stuff going forward. Thanks, Martin.
Thank you. Lisa.
Good morning, everybody. Lisa Carney I have the Lisa Carney Retail Agency, Insurance Agency in Woodbury. I'm relatively new to you guys on this committee, so it's nice to get to meet everybody. Have a great day.
Good. Bill Crow. Bill.
Hi, good morning. Bill Crow with Maryville Addiction Treatment Center. Nice to see everyone.
Marshall, if you're on, would you unmute yourself? No. He's probably taken 10 phone calls. We'll come back to Marshall. Well, I'm on. Ben, Randy, you're muted.
Good morning, everyone.
Jane?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Nice to see you all.
Greg? Where's Greg? Greg Cieslak, yeah.
You see me?
Yep.
Greg Cieslak. Do you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. I had to switch from my Surface Pro. The bank's technology doesn't seem to like Zoom, so I'm on my iPad. But Greg Cieslak, TD Bank, been involved with the council for quite some years on other committees. And Marlene and I have had the pleasure over the past week of spending some additional time with each other. I'm glad to be part of this committee and hope to, if anyone doesn't meet me or know me, feel free to reach out. But I think I know most of the people on this call have been involved with both the council and other organizations as well.
Yeah, Greg and I had the pleasure of putting a PPP application together. Easy for him. Jane and I were nuts with it, but it got finished. It got sent in. So, and then Greg has an interesting story. Tell us about was it your grandfather that had the membership card?
Yeah. So the first house I ever bought was my grandparents' house, and I found a sleeve of business cards. My grandfather had a food business, and mixed in with his business cards was his membership card from Southern New Jersey Development Council from, I think it was 1957.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah,
like runs in the family.
Yeah.
So Greg,
I don't have a membership card.
Well, that was probably one of the last times they issued the membership card back in '57. But we have it, and it's safely tucked away.
Gary,
They
we
switched
have
to
way
tattoos
too
now.
many members to be able to afford membership cards.
Carolyn, Where'd you go? There you are, Carolyn.
Good morning. I'm Carolyn Zampino from Triad Associates.
Joe Cardona, you're on mute. Oh, you're waving. And Bob Schwenker, there you are.
Good morning, everyone. I'm one of the new guys on the block. My name is Bob Schwenker. I'm one of the owners of Hoffman's Exterminating, full service pest control company. Glad to be part of the group. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So Joe, for now, we'll see who else pops on, but I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, great. My name is Joe Pilato. I'm a co-chair of the Marketing and Membership Committee. I'm vice president of commercial insurance for Epic Brokers. We're a national broker catering to the needs of the larger businesses with maybe more complex insurance needs. So just a little bit about us. This committee, our job is to grow the membership and to make sure that the members that we have are getting full access to our membership and are able to get the correct promotion for their businesses and grow their business. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. It's been very difficult during these times where we usually meet in person at various events, but we continue to grow and our membership continues to grow. And we like to do things like this Zoom call to give our members the opportunity to meet the membership, to get the word out about their companies, how they may, what services they deliver, how they may be different or better than others, and just to outreach to the community of SNJDC and beyond. So that's what we're trying to do here this morning with a couple of our new members. And we want to make sure that we know what you do and we can talk about you when we have that opportunity to do so within our world of contacts. So just wanted to start it out with Carl Lecklider from Integrum Workplace. I know just from the information I have, Carl, that your organization does building services and things of that nature, but why don't you fill us in with the details?
Sure. Integrum Workplace Solutions is a company that has actually 3 distinct divisions. The workspace services, the facility services, and the IT division, of which I run. I'm the managing director of the Workspace Solutions, which includes commercial moves, facility decommissions, liquidation of product, product installation. For the overview that we were preparing here, I believe Lewis has put together a little piece to show everybody, and well, I'll turn it over to Lewis at this point.
Can I get the screen share real quick, Ben? If that's okay. Let's see if it can.
Okay, you should be able to access it. Yeah.
While we're waiting, Carl, where are you guys located?
We're our headquarters is in Marlton.
Okay.
Everyone can see that?
I can.
I can.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically our crown jewel of services that we're actually rolling out via LinkedIn to our past, current client base is basically corporate distancing. The whole concept here is basically to address the issues that we all are having right now, what companies are working for, as well as the thousands, tens of thousands of companies and corporations across the country that need to get their people back to work. So what we've done is we've created this program a la corporate distancing. The whole concept is all about how to reopen, how to get your people back. Let me see if a lot of people run into this whole question of what's the strategy? How do we get back? I mean, as you all know, as I can say, everyone's at home. We can't stay home forever. You know, we would like to some degree, or we're pulling our hair out if we have to I'm about to actually go outside and put a desk out in the snow because my kids and my dog keep jumping on my back. But the whole key of what we need to do is address how to get people back. Now, to do that, we have to address the facilities. We have to address the workspace. We have to address air quality, your work environment, everything that we all kind of ran home from because we thought that that was a hotbed of the spread. So we're safe at home. As you can see, I talk about these internal and external factors. These are some of the things that companies have to kind of consider. It's the driving force as to what needs to be addressed to kind of get their people back. Without going deep diving into the process, basically, you know, there's 3 objectives that most companies have to basically, they're like the burning questions. What do we do about our footprint? There's a scale back. Is there the opportunity more so than the need to basically change the square footage of their existing environment, their existing workplace, whether it's their headquarters, they're moving to a hub and spoke model where now they're going to start picking up satellite locations and decreasing the square footage of where they are, which they might have called home base. Dedensifying. In essence, we got to create space. That's not just moving people. You know, we talk about the 6 feet and everything. It also gets into the furniture, it gets into the layout. It gets into the flow of the traffic within the office. It gets into the height of your existing cubicles. It also is addressing what substrate materials are actually a part of your systems. Gone will be the days of the fabric. You'll start seeing non-porous materials. You know, you sneeze, I want to be able to wipe it clean. That ties us into health, safety, and access. There's a lot of different things that kind of comes under that. That's where we start addressing air quality. That's where you look at your HVAC systems. That gets into the whole facility service realm, your building services, your building access controls. People are coming, you need to address, monitor, and control your visitors, the number of employees that are coming, who's swiping, who's coming, how many people are in the office. Are you phasing with 25%, 50%, or everybody's coming back? These are some of the things that we will address as we try to identify your objectives. As you see, 5 phases for the program. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with methodologies. We basically have put together a methodology to basically go through identifying what objectives you need to address. And basically assessing that, we'll do assessments, we'll come and define your scope, figure out what you need to do, whether it's budgetary, space, how many people you have, we go to a full slate of services, as you can see, through our phases, kind of get you back to the office. Let me move quick. Services, I'm just gonna quickly call out. We basically are operating with 6 different categories of service under this program. Space assessment, planning, design. This is where we're offering the professional service side. We'll look at your existing layout, CAD drawings. Our design team will look at that, sit with you and try to figure out what is it you need to do. As you see, I highlight on here about lease evaluations. A lot of people have signed leases years ago, but don't know what needs to happen now or what their options are. We'll come and kind of look through your lease, make some recommendations so you can go back to your broker or your landlord and say, hey, this is where we are right now. And you also will have other factors because now companies have to look at their budget, what they can afford. Because this is an expensive undertaking to try to get everybody back. Because I'm sure most of you agree, just open the door and say, come on, that's probably not going to be the best solution. As Carl mentioned, move and relocation. Once it's been identified that you need to either downsize, you need to move people to a different location, relocating, this is kind of what we do. We're not a moving company, I want to stress that, but yet we do employ and we do have labor non-union movers that also will do the heavy lifting of getting you from point A to point B. Decommission, Carl mentioned this as well. If there's a space give back and you need to, as a picture, as you see, it's crispy, clean. I would love to go in here and slide down there with an office chair right now, but this is what may be left for a lot of companies because they need to leave the space they are in and they no longer can afford it. They don't want to afford it, or there's no need because the fortunate part is the US worker has proven their productivity has been able to increase during COVID, at least to acceptable levels. And with that, square footage may need to be decreased. When that happens, we decommission the space. We take it back to its broom sweat condition so you can turn it back over to your landlord. Involved with that is also the IT piece, because you may have to do a server uninstall, reinstall. You may have to move to a new location. You may have to remove what you have, move to the new place, get it all wired back up so everybody can kind of come in and plug in and get working. Everything from the Wi-Fi side to the monitors coming on. Furniture services, quickly, we help you procure it, whether that's purchase, lease. We're not furniture dealers yet. We do have a network of dealers we deal with. Our design people will also walk you through those pallet choices. Because again, a big part may be changing the furniture that you have. As I mentioned about the cubicles, I mean, the open floor diagram, I mean, floor plan is probably still going to be, but yet there's changes that can be kind of put in place. We also do installation. We help you with any surplus, and we also refurbish things because it may be more of a better budgetary decision to kind of keep what you have, but just kind of update it some. Asset management, I'll just say, hey, if you need to store, we can help you store, we can help you manage, we can bring it back. One thing to really highlight is that, and I'm sure a lot of you know that every company's not just going to send their people back in a full wave. There may be a phased opening. Well, what that should mean is don't go throw all your furniture away. You know, if you have to reduce your footprint, you may need to store some things for the short term or the long term until we kind of get over maybe a second hump, maybe by the end of the year with COVID, because some of the plans that companies are going to roll out may not work. They may have to revisit. And if that happens, you kind of don't want to throw your assets away. You kind of want to maintain them so you can kind of get them again. Building services, technology. This I mentioned, we get into the HVAC piece, the security technology, the visitor management. You may need to put in turnstiles. You might need to, change how your employees are coming, keeping track of who's there, who's not. It also gets to the building controls of the building, touchless controls when you enter and exit out of your conference rooms. Same thing with the bathrooms. So all that kind of comes under this technology piece. I guess, oops. It's going to hurt. It's going to keep hurting. It's hurting us right now. This is kind of how one of the clients expressed, hey, sorry about that. That wasn't me. In essence, when people go back, they don't have a plan. We are going to be, in essence, feeling like we're living in a box, you know, trying to stay protected from everyone else. But there are a lot of companies that are sending their people back and they're really not prepared yet. So in essence, thank you very much. If you have questions or anything, hey, let us know here. I will mention that I didn't start off with this, is that us being new members, we actually joined at the strong recommendation of Mike Haggerty, who we've done a lot of work with Camden County in the past. So that is why we're here. I and Carl come from my previous company where we focused on the federal government. That's what I did for 10 plus years. Carved out right actually before COVID hit and decided to start focusing still on the federal side, but on the commercial institutional healthcare side. So that's where Mike was like, hey, you have to come join this group. Like, it'd be silly and foolish not to. And it's like, okay, that's what we'll do. And that's why we're here right now. So thank you. Any questions, you can let me know now or another time. We are available.
Lou, I was just curious about a couple of things. First of all, I don't think this presentation could be more timely, obviously. When so many companies are faced with having to come back and worrying about the safety of their employees, liability, so forth and so on. So this presentation is excellent. And I don't know how best we could disseminate this maybe farther than just our immediate group here, because I think this is going to be important to a lot of companies. How do you subcontract these services, or do you have your own employees doing these things?
Well, we have our own employees, but we also have a strong, I almost want to call it a hand in glove relationship with certain, people use the word strategic partnership. Strategic means that it's us and them. We're doing this together. The whole model for me was, again, on the federal side, I had up to almost 50 employees, but they were mostly all professional services. And we did some furniture related stuff, some construction stuff. But what I wanted to do by venturing to the public space is I wanted to go get the best, especially in South Jersey, the best of what I need to get done versus saying, you know, I can do this well. One of my things is a good job is not good enough. Only a great one is. So I wanted to get great people.
Yeah, well, I think coming back, a lot of companies are going to feel that they can do some of these things themselves. But
Yes.
the way you've presented it here with all the different segments that they have to be concerned about, a lot of companies may feel or come to the conclusion that it's worthwhile hiring Integrum and the type of services that you offer. So this is, I think, very, and this is really just a segment of what you do. You're presenting this because this is the thing that everybody's interested in right now, but you do other things beyond this as well, right?
Yes, yes. And as Carl mentioned, he's a manager of regular workspace service, and that is a lot of these activities and realms of services, they are within under Carl. So yes, that's a big part of what we're doing. My federal stuff is actually mostly on the IT side. Yet talking with some federal people, they have to get their people back. But as everyone probably knows, at least the federal government moves slower than public and private. So I can almost say they'll get there. They're just not there yet.
Yeah, and Joe, just to your point, you're exactly right. And a lot of the companies and a lot of the people, you know, out there really looked within and said, hey, I think we could accomplish these things. And a classic example is Camden County. As this was going on, probably, I guess in May, June, the county was at a feeling that they would handle all the things that they needed to do to get their employees back to work. Well, they came to find out that it's probably a little bit more difficult than they had thought or really cared to think about. And thus, we are presenting to Camden County next week and this program for evaluation of you know, over 1 million square feet of facilities. So you're exactly right with what you said about people thinking they could do it on their own.
Yeah, I mean, there's what's presented in this PowerPoint is there are a lot of different factors that you have to take into consideration. And you have to buy products for, and you have to have procedures for, and so forth and so on. Everybody may not, as you said, be either able or willing to do that themselves.
Right.
So
let me highlight 2 quick things. One, to your point, Joe, there's a lot of phone calls that someone had to make as they need to figure it out. You know, a lot of vendors they have to call, and that's where we assembled our internal as well as our subcontractors that we've been working with for years. They say, oh, this is what we need to kind of put together and roll out. As Carl always says, you give your client one nose to punch. That way, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you, instead of me as a client talking to this person and this person, this person, that person, that person. And you all guys know when it comes to procurement, you got to get 3 bids for every piece of work. It's just a whole lot. That's one. The other part is we don't operate just within the South New Jersey and Philadelphia area. And as Carl can attest, our largest client is actually a publicly traded company where we just did a job in Florida. We have 2 in California. So we do operate on a national footprint and have been, you know, especially, again, Carl's been around the world kind of putting these services into play. So that was my other point.
great, that's very impressive. Does anyone else have any questions for Lou or Carl?
I'd say mine is more of a comment than a question. I would say, you know, being on the banking side, we're looking at office space as, you know, an area that is under stress right now. So I would think your service for a real estate group could be highly valuable as they're looking to, you know, retain and, you know, or modify those relationships, you know, and what we're going to be going forward.
You're right, Greg. My probably my best form of contact are the people that I converse with and work with regularly are directors of corporate real estate. You know, places, companies that are headquartered in one place but have many locations all over the country. So you're exactly right. You know, you're seeing a lot of space being given back. And I'm pretty aware of TD Bank with the space that they're looking to give back. We haven't been able to get in there as of yet, but we're trying.
All right, well, if I can help at all there, we should connect.
Appreciate it, Greg. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, why don't we move on and let's have Kevin talk a little bit about Belfor. I think probably all of us have seen Belfor's commercials, a big national company, well known for disaster restoration. So obviously you have probably some topical things and other things that you want to tell us to kind of flesh out the company for us.
Yes, and just like Integral, we're a very large company, national company, global company. But I think one of the things that I took from Carl's and Lewis's presentation is they say is service and how they can be a resource to their customers. In terms of the Southern New Jersey Development Council, as we've been dealing with the COVID situation, and as I've been seeing the updates that our association is providing our members, I started looking internally about how I could be a better resource for members within our association with dealing with the pandemic that's going on right now. So today's presentation is going to be more focused on COVID cleaning and sanitizing. But just as Joe said, that everyone looks at Belfor as a restoration company. You think fires, you think pipe burst, you think water, storm damage. But there's a breadth of other services that we provide. And I think one of the biggest ones right now is that Belfor is a professional cleaning company that specializes in sanitizing infectious diseases. So that's the key term right there, sanitizes infectious diseases. In 2020, we did over 15,000 COVID jobs throughout the country. Some of our key players that we were doing with, and we do have NDAs, but you could think of professional football teams, you can think of professional arenas, golf tournaments, very highly acclaimed golf tournaments, government agencies as well. So I'm going to start off and share my screen here, and just in terms of time, just do a brief video. And that I like the interaction part, so any questions that you may have, feel free to ask. Can everyone see the screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Can everyone hear it?
I can't hear anything on if there's supposed to be sound now.
Yeah, we can hear you, but not the sound.
All right, 1 second here. I think I just have to switch the output.
Business, it's important to take action now, to do what you can to protect your workplace environment and keep it as safe as possible. As you consider the risk to your business, you're probably wondering what type of cleaning or disinfecting process you should use. You're probably wondering who can do it and how much will it cost. Make sure you're using a reputable company who knows how to properly do the job and one that can stand behind their work as recommended by the CDC. Of course, Belfor has been cleaning buildings and facilities of biohazards for more than 25 years. We even have our own environmental division. Not all cleaning companies have that kind of experience and knowledge, so choose professionals. Belfour is on the front lines of this crisis. Our teams have built drive-through testing centers in many parts of the country. We've also been very busy cleaning buildings, offices, manufacturing plants, warehouses, schools, fire stations, casinos, cruise ships, and you name it, just about every type of business all over the world. At Belfour, we are offering 3 different levels of cleaning protocol based on the risk that your business faces. Level 1 is a proactive cleaning for those that have no suspected or confirmed cases of COVID-19, but want to be cautious. If your facility is currently empty due to stay-at-home measures, this may be the best time to have it properly cleaned. Level 2, or suspected, should be used when you have determined that it is possible that your business has been exposed to COVID-19. For example, if one of your employees is sick with a fever, you may need level 2 cleaning to make sure your building or office has not been exposed. Level 3, the most thorough of all cleanings, is used when your business has had a confirmed case of COVID-19. For this level, an industrial hygienist should be consulted, or may even be required to inspect and clear the premises of any COVID-19 exposure. We are happy to help you select the level of cleaning that makes the most sense for your facility. Belfour uses 2 basic cleaning methods, a wiping process and a spraying process. Both methods help lower the risk, and for many jobs, we use a combination of both. For high contact surfaces such as doorknobs, elevator buttons, computer keyboards, and more, we use a hand cleaning motion with a soft cloth to ensure that all contact surfaces are adequately touched through the wiping process. For low contact surfaces such as floors and walls, we use an electrostatic sprayer or an aerosolized mister. This type of cleaning is used for broad application or large areas. It is safe and leaves no harmful residue. For both methods, Belfour uses an EPA-approved hospital-grade disinfectant that is proven to be very effective at battling infectious viruses such as the coronavirus. If you want Belfour to clean your building or facility, there are several ways you can start that process. First, visit our website at belfourusa.com and complete the short form. We will contact you directly. Or you can call your local Belfour office or account.
So that I just wanted to kind of give out a basic overview. I do have additional resources that I want to send out in regards to safe work practices for everyone, as well as the best response practices if there is a situation. And in all regards, Belfour and myself personally look to be that resource and look to specifically tailor plans to the needs of the clients that we're working with, because obviously a square peg doesn't fit in a round hole. And not every situation is going to be the same situation. So you have to look at each project, each case, each situation with a clean slate and determine the best course of action from there. Does anyone have any questions? I know I wanted to keep this very broad because of the time limit, but I hope I got across the message well.
Kevin, I was just curious about kind of the different disinfection techniques. One of my clients, who is an electronics manufacturer, had a chance to produce a ultraviolet device that disinfected. Are you familiar with that? I'm just curious. What are those devices about?
So I know that they are looking into the ultraviolet disinfecting methods. And that's as the course of they know more about the virus comes out. Obviously, there's going to be different cleaning techniques to come out. And we have a full research and development team looking into other areas. Right now, we use a 3-step process with an antimicrobial with that. I'm not sure where we stand on the ultrasonic, but we do ultrasonic cleanings for electrical manufacturing plants. I don't want to speak to if that's what we're utilizing for COVID cleanings for those plants. I'd rather get you the right answer on that one. I know the next frontier, though, is going to be airflow and air movement within the HVAC space as well, and we're heavily looking into that.
Thanks. Well, obviously, there may be some other questions. My comments are that these are two extremely complementary presentations. One with the really the hard issues of setting up the premise so that it is ready for employees to come back, and the other that is actually the job of cleaning the facility. So I think both of the Integram and Belfor here are presenting necessary segments of what has to be done as we come back to work. So this is very timely. Anyone else have any other questions? I think there's a lot to think about here.
Kevin, do you have, I know you mentioned, the air conditioning systems and all that to clean the air. Is there any localized units that you might be using? I know that in all of our office, we've installed something called Active Pure, which I guess has the technology that space shuttles have to clean the air of COVID and SARS and all that, all those organisms. Do you have anything like that?
So, so that is what the fogging systems are doing. I know within the HVAC units, that's a new frontier. There are a lot smarter people than I within Belfor that I would refer that question to and then get you back the correct answer who specifically deal with infectious diseases. So I can come back to you with that answer, but that is what the fogging machines are doing. So, and then as well as hand touching all the high touch surfaces. So it's a combination of two different things. Yes, you can have a cleaning crew do it, but when it boils down to it, and the same thing with Carl and Lewis's presentation is, why are we doing this, right? Why are we cleaning? Why are we rearranging the workspace? It's for peace of mind. It's to show our workers that we care about them, that we are doing everything we can to protect them. So that's why having a professional service like Ingram and Belfor come in to perform these duties is the right choice. And with touching all the high touch surface aspects and the fogging, you're not leaving anything behind. They're changing their PPE out when they're switching surfaces, because if one surface is contaminated and they utilize that same cleaning product on the next surface, then they've cross-contaminated. So it's the entire protocol that goes into it on the back end. That the presentation would have been a little bit longer if we got into all of that and the nitty gritty, but it's about doing it the right way the first time, not skipping any of the steps, and ensuring that safe workplace and the peace of mind for not only the business owner, but for their employees and customers.
Thank you.
Well, thank you both. It was nice that you had the formal presentations, and I think your companies were presented very well. And we, it's our duty to make sure we spread the word for you, which we intend to do. Ben,